Hi, I'm Bekah, and this is my BookTube. Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you are watching this video after watching a previous video. Welcome if you are new here. Today I am going to make probably one of the most challenging videos for myself to make, and it's challenging because I don't really like to talk about myself in certain aspects. I love getting to know people and telling people about myself in a way that I hope will make them find something in common with me, and like share stories with me and stuff like that. But when it comes to like accomplishments, I guess, I'm really bad at talking to other people about myself, or trying to convince people to participate in something that I am part of sometimes. So this week I was kind of struggling to figure out what my video was going to be about. I was kind of toying around with the idea of like reading a specific book and talking about it or something. I was gonna do like a YouTube tag where I just answer questions and stuff like that. And I think I'm gonna save that for a different video, but enough rambling. As you can see, I'm avoiding talking about what I am supposed to be making this video about. In my newbie BookTube tag video, I mentioned that I'm an indie author. I think in a couple different videos I've kind of passively mentioned reading as a writer or talking about writing experience that I have. So I am going to talk to you today about my book. I'm holding up two copies of it right now because I wanted to show you guys the original cover. This is a cover that I asked one of my friends to design. I had shown her some reference photos of what my idea was, and she nailed it with this. It was perfect. I loved it. I was super excited. I do still love it. I'm really happy that I had my friend design it because I think it looks very cool. But then as my author journey progressed, after about a year, I was starting to really research, like, I was trying to do better at marketing myself. I was starting to research things that help, and there's a lot of weight that goes into what your cover looks like and how it affects your marketing. So it was like a two-sided thing. It was that like this wasn't really doing the marketing enough on its own, and I was having a couple hesitant moments where I was looking at other people's books and looking at books that I felt like I wanted to compare my book to, and this cover wasn't really doing what I had originally intended it to do. So I redesigned my cover. I went into Canva and I made this, and because I also had to think about, this is planned as a series, it's supposed to have 4 books, so the idea is that I would need 4 cohesive covers, and the more I thought about what the other 3 covers might look like if I continued to have my friend do the artwork for the cover, the more I was starting to see a flaw in my own design. And I was like, I need to make a design that I will be able to cohesively move across 4 covers, make them all look like they are interconnected and go together and fit well. So I went back in to Canva and I made this. I used kind of like a leather image to make it look like a tome. And one of the things that made me think to do that was a book that I had read that was paperback just like this, and but the cover made it look like it would be like a leather tome that would be found in an old library. And I was like, that's what I want. I want someone to look at this and be like, oh, this looks like it came from an old library. It's gonna have a fantasy story to it. It's got the fairy on there. And another story that the cover helps us tell, which is also now going to lead into me telling you about my story, the 4 elements, fire, water, earth, and air, are key components in the story, and they also correlate with the 4 seasons. So you have air, fire, earth, and water. So the cover helps to convey that information as well for someone when they go to pick it up. Let me read you the blurb and then we'll get into talking about it. Um, there's a quote at the top from the book that says, "What good is this gift if I can never use it for good?" Enya ponders this burden, feeling aimless at 18 years old. Gifted with a dangerous elemental power at birth, she struggles to find the beauty in her talent. Her inner wrestlings are burning for more than the day-to-day life of simplicity she lives. In the safety of her sister's home, the siren song of a journey beckons to her. She wants to answer. Fear roots her in place. But on a fateful day of seemingly mundane tasks, she meets someone who catapults her ordinary life into the extraordinary. His presence launches her onto a journey to change her destiny. So, this is a YA fantasy. The main character is 18, but the content in it is kind of closer to like middle grade YA stuff. There's no profanity, there's no sexuality. There are like character deaths, but there's nothing too gruesome. And there is violence in it, but again, nothing super gruesome in my opinion. The story starts with Enya. She is a young woman who was born on the summer solstice. And in this world, when someone is born on a solstice or equinox, a fairy comes to bless the child with an elemental gift. So she was born during the summer solstice, so she had a fire fairy come greet her at her birth and grant her an elemental gift. The gifts do not surface until they are 16, and so this is a little over, because the story takes place in autumn, so it's a little over 2 years past Enya's gift coming to fruition, Enya's powers coming to fullness in her. She is living with her sister because they lost her parents a few years prior. Her sister is older and starting a life with her husband. They're gonna have a baby. Enya is struggling to figure out who she is supposed to be, what she is supposed to do with herself, what she is supposed to do with her gift. She goes into town one day and meets a guy who is just following her around. She keeps trying to make him go away. He keeps following her and stuff, and there's some cute little banter going on between them. And then he reveals that he was also born on a solstice. He was born on the winter solstice, and so he has water powers. And so she finds a camaraderie with him. She finds someone that she can connect with and who can understand things that she may or may not be going through as someone with an elemental gift. And she goes to return home after meeting him in town and finds out that her sister is missing. So they journey out to go find her sister. Along their journey out, they encounter one of Enya's childhood friends who also has an elemental gift. Her friend was born on the autumn equinox, and so she has earth giftings. One of the ways I usually pitch this is if you could mix Avatar: The Last Airbender with Merlin from BBC. It's kind of like Merlin-esque Arthurian setting, very medieval fantasy, but like more light fantasy than high fantasy. And then obviously with the elemental powers, you get Avatar: The Last Airbender. The elemental gifts in this, some of them are not used the way that you would expect. I had a very cool opportunity when I first published this to go. I gave copies of it to a local Montessori school, and the librarian had a class of 4th graders, 5th graders read it, and they had some strong, interesting opinions, and one of them loved Avatar: The Last Airbender and was very upset with me for changing how the elemental gifts worked. And I was like, I also love Avatar: The Last Airbender. However, this is not Avatar: The Last Airbender. This is my book. So that means sometimes the way the magic works changes. Just like how we have different, I mean, I didn't say this to him at the time, but just like we have different vampire lores and different things like that. One of the great things about being an author, being a creative person, is taking liberty with stories and finding a way to put your own twist on it, in a way that kind of creates a new narrative or challenges people's understanding of what something is. There is a dragon in it, a happy ending in it. Enya is kind of this like emotionally scarred, troubled character at the beginning. As the story progresses and as she has the opportunity to really stand up for herself and take control of herself and her gift, you really see her come into a very different version of herself and have this great journey where she gets to own her own person and not allow something or someone else to dictate what she can or cannot do. If you like fairies and elemental magic, if you like dragons and medieval fantasy, if you like a self-rescuing princess, and if you like when you are reading a story and you get a gut-wrenching moment of panic because the villain has done something that just stuck a knife in your gut and makes you feel sick. I wrote a scene like that in here. And it's great because the heroine punches back type scenes. This is Hearth Blessed, and I am working towards writing a sequel. I keep setting a goal for when that will get written, and it's just like continuously a little bit of a challenge because I've been having a hard time finding out where the Earth character's story goes. Some people are really good at just making, writing out the plot and following some beat points, and I've kind of tried to do that, and I can write that story. It just doesn't feel natural to me, and it doesn't feel like it's correct. I have to really listen to the characters and have them tell me what's happening. I feel like they tell me the story and I write it down. I'm still kind of listening to make sure I get the Earth character's story right. I'm also hoping that dedicating time and energy to doing these videos helps unlock a certain creative space in my mind that has been kind of cramped. Hopefully I get that finished up and written and published so that if you read this, you can then also read Hearth Blessed when it comes out. Thank you for listening to me talk about the book that I wrote. I really hope you check it out. It's on Kindle Unlimited, and it's also available on Amazon if you want to order a print copy. I can send you a signed copy if you order it through my Square site. And yeah, just if you check it out, let me know what you think. Even if you think it's not that good, I am totally open to criticism. I appreciate feedback so that I know how to improve. But also, if you like it, then tell me, because I need to get better at thinking that it's promotable. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, that's a fun one. Got it. Okay. I have 2 copies of it here because the elemental gifts, focus. This is a short video. It is really hot in this house. I can't have the air on while I make a video. Whew. It's so hot. I'm so sweaty. Thank you for joining me for another. Oh my god. No! Oh, that sounded bad. That was so bad. Okay. I lost it. Every time. Sometimes I start a sentence and I don't even know where it's going until I get to the end.